Hello, thank you so much for joining me here today. We're going to be doing a 20-minute vinyasa yoga class. This will be suitable for beginners, and we can make variations for intermediate and advanced students as well if you'd like to join our class. So today we're just going to be doing a calming vinyasa yoga class, just a slow and easy flow to reconnect to our bodies and to our mind. I'm coming here to be present in this moment on our mats. So together, let's take a long, deep breath in here. Inhaling, filling the body with oxygen. And exhale to release all that is no longer serving us. And when you're ready, let's begin on our mats. For this class, we're going to go ahead and we're going to meet on our mats. We're going to come into our tabletop position. So in tabletop, you want to have the wrists directly below the shoulders and knees directly below the hips. So from here, we're going to inhale, coming up into a cat. So arching that spine all the way up and dropping the neck here. And exhale, you're going to release that spine all the way down for an arch here. And lifting that head up, lifting the chin and the chest here. So again, inhale up into cat. We're going to arch that spine all the way up. And exhale to cow, dropping that spine down and lifting the head and chin, gazing up forward. Inhale up into cat, and exhale to cow. You can continue this at your own pace for a few more deep breaths, or just follow along with me. One more time, up into cat, and exhale, coming into your cow. Inhale to cat, and this time as we exhale, let's drop those hips all the way back, stretching those arms in front of us. We're going to exhale into our child's pose. So in child's pose, where you can rest that forehead down on the mat and stretching the arms as far as we can out in front of our body here. Inhale, gazing towards those fingertips. Let's walk our hands over to the left side of our body. And exhale, sinking that forehead back down on the mat, feeling a deep stretch through the upper torso here. On your next inhale, gazing towards those fingertips, let's walk our hands back to center and all the way across to the right side of our body this time. Exhale, releasing that forehead down on the mat. And continuing to take long, deep breath, let's connect to this stretch here, noticing how our body feels in this asana. On the next inhale, gazing towards those fingertips. Again, let's walk our hands to the center. Exhale, back down onto the mat. And inhale, taking our left hand, we're going to reach it all the way up towards the sky, gazing towards those fingertips. And exhale, we're going to thread the needle, bringing this arm all the way across to the other side of our body and sinking back down onto the mat here. Taking a long, deep breath here. And inhale, let's bring that arm all the way back up towards the sky, reaching as high as we can. And exhale to release it down in front of us. Inhale, let's take the right hand this time, bring it all the way up, gazing towards those fingertips. And exhale, threading the needle, bringing it across and under the left arm. Exhale, releasing down onto the mat here. Taking a long, deep breath here. Inhale, bringing that right arm all the way back up. And exhale, releasing it back flat in front of us. And bringing that forehead down onto the mat here. On our next inhale, let's push those hips back, meeting back in a tabletop on our mat. And from here, we can slowly lower our body down, bringing our chest and chin to the mat. And inhale, pushing up into a Cobra Asana. So in Cobra, you want to make sure that the palms are directly underneath the shoulders, and you want to draw those elbows into the side of our body. Keeping those feet flat down on the mat. We're going to inhale, pushing up and leaving a slight bend in the elbows here as to not put too much pressure on the lower back. Drawing those shoulders back and gazing up. Let's take a long, deep breath here. And inhale, you can tuck those toes behind us and lift up, straightening those arms and pushing up into our upward facing dog. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Let's push those hips up and back down into our downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, we want to make sure that we're evenly distributing the weight between our palms and our heels. So your heels do not need to be pressed directly down onto the mat. A lot of bodies actually can't even do this physically, so that's completely okay. Just do what feels comfortable for you. And you can allow a slight bend in the knees as well to help take off the pressure from the lower back. So breathing here, we can just pedal out our knees, just slowly getting comfortable here. Breathing here. And exhale, sinking back. Imagining a string at our pelvis, just lifting the hips up and back. Taking a long, deep breath here. And on our next inhale, let's take this left leg. We're going to bring it all the way up into a three-legged downward facing dog, maintaining the hips square to the center. And exhale, bringing that knee all the way between our palms here, flat on the mat in front of us. Inhale, drawing the shoulders back. And exhale, we can sink down onto our forearms here. Clasping the hands, you can rest your forehead down on your hands here. Just breathing here, sinking deeper into the stretch and noticing how this feels in our hips. For a deeper stretch, you can take these arms and we can place them out flat in front of us, sinking that chest all the way down flat on the mat. And on the next inhale, let's gaze forward, walking those hands back. And from here, if you want to challenge, we can reach back for that right leg. Taking my right hand, I can reach towards that foot, gazing back towards that foot. Inhale, drawing it closer. And exhale to release back down onto the mat. Inhale, let's tuck that toe under and lift our body up off the mat. Exhale, pushing back into the three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale a little bit deeper and exhale, releasing that foot back down on the mat in front of us. From here, you can drop those knees and we can take a rest in our child's pose, dropping that forehead back down onto the mat here. Taking a long, deep breath, let's recognize how our hips are feeling. Noticing if one feels more tight, or if you haven't made any differences, that is completely okay too. Just reconnecting to our body. When you're ready, we're going to come up on the next inhale back to our tabletop. Exhale, dropping that body down. And inhale, pushing up into your cobra. Exhale here. Inhale, tucking those toes, pushing the body up into our plank. And exhale, sinking back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, this time we're going to lift that right leg up into our three-legged dog, keeping the hips squared. And exhale, dropping that right knee down in between our palms here. Inhale, coming up, drawing the shoulder blades back. And exhale, you can sink down onto your forearms here, resting your head on the hands. Taking long, deep breaths here, sinking deeper into the stretch. And again, if you want a bit of a deeper stretch, you can just stretch those arms out in front of you, sinking the chest down onto your mat. Inhale here, let's lift up, bringing those hands back to center. And again, if you're up for a challenge, let's take that left leg, reaching with the left arm, meeting here, gazing over that shoulder. Inhale a little bit deeper. And exhale to release that foot back down on the mat. Inhale, let's tuck that toe underneath, pushing up, and exhale, pushing back into our three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, stretching here, and exhale, releasing those feet back down on the mat. From here, let's inhale, gazing towards those fingertips and walking our feet towards our hands here. Exhale, sinking deeper into our standing forward fold stretch. From here, you can allow a slight bend in your knees. You can grab at your elbows here, allowing your upper body to hang and just resting the neck here. Inhale, let's drop those hands down onto the mat, pushing up on our fingertips, gazing forward. And exhale, surrendering the upper body, sinking back deeper into a standing forward fold. Inhale, walking over towards the left side of the body. I'm going to take this left hand over to the right leg and taking my right hand over onto the left heel. I'm going to twist that spine here. And exhale back to center. Inhale, taking this left hand over to the right heel and taking my right hand over to the left calf, stretching here. Exhale, releasing back to center, sinking my hands down as far as I can onto the mat. Inhale, gazing forward. And exhale, dropping those knees, sinking down onto the mat in front of me. From here, I'm going to drop down. Exhale, sinking back into a hero's pose here. Drawing the shoulders back, taking a long, deep breath in. And exhale to release. Inhale, I'm going to walk my hands forward and almost coming into a child's pose, but this time we're not going to drop those hips back. We're just going to walk those hands in front, coming into a puppy pose. So you want to try to sink down onto your chest and chin. Breathing here. And exhale, let's release, coming all the way back down into a flat pose here. And exhale, sinking down. I'm going to bring this arm all the way to my side. Inhale, lifting my left leg, and exhale, curling it over and back to the opposite side of my body. Breathing here. Inhale, bringing that leg all the way back up. And exhale, releasing it back down on the mat. This time I'm going to turn my head facing towards that right hand. I'm going to inhale up my right leg and exhale, bending the knee and curling it over to the opposite side of my body. Taking a long deep breath here. Inhale, squaring the hips, bringing that leg back up, and exhale, releasing it back on the mat in front of me. From here, we can lift up into our baby cobra. So you want to keep the hands up off the mat, and inhale, lifting the legs up, and lifting your chest and chin. Exhale, releasing back down on the mat. Inhale, placing my hands down firmly in front of me. We're going to push up into a cobra, keeping those elbows slightly bent. And exhale, up to a tabletop. Let's just walk those knees towards our hands, sinking our glutes down, and bringing those feet in front of us here. Inhale, reaching up, taking a long deep breath. Exhale, sinking the back all the way down flat onto the mat. Resting here, you can take a deep breath. Inhale, let's draw those knees towards our chest. Interlacing your fingers, you can meet them on the outside of your calves here. And just make slow, small circular motions with the hips. And when you're ready, you can reverse and go the opposite direction. Just in a small circular motion. Inhale, I'm going to take this left leg, pulling it deeper towards my chest. Exhale, releasing that right leg flat down onto the mat. From here, making small circular motions with the hip. Exhale, releasing that foot flat down on the mat. Take our left arm, placing it down flat, gazing towards those left fingertips, and taking the right hand, grabbing at that left knee. Inhale here, and exhale, bringing that knee all the way across the body to the other side, keeping that shoulder flat on the mat. Inhale, drawing the knee back up to center, and exhale to release back onto the mat. Inhale, let's bring that right heel up. Bringing those hands across, we're gonna exhale, bringing it in deeper towards our chest. And from here, we can make small circular motions once again, this time on the right hip. Again, reverse in the direction. Inhale, pulling that knee in closer to our chest. Exhale, releasing the foot flat down onto the mat. Let's bring this right arm down flat next to us, gazing towards those fingertips here. Taking my left hand, grabbing the right knee. Inhale here. Exhale, dropping that knee over to the left side of the body, keeping your shoulder flat on the mat and your gaze towards that left hand. Long, deep breath here. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, releasing both legs flat down on the mat in front of us. Let's take a long, deep breath here together. And on the next inhale, drawing those feet up, we're going to meet the soles of our feet together and come into a reclined bound angle pose, also known as a reclined butterfly. So putting the soles of the feet together, let's draw the hips out to either side of the body. You can rest your hands here either on your torso or on the inside of your thighs, adding a slight bit of pressure and deepening the stretch here. Exhale, sinking down further into your mat, allowing your body to feel heavy here. Feeling the ground support you. And just sink deeper into this pose. Inhale, putting the soles of the feet flat on the mat, drawing those shoulders up. Exhale here. Inhale, grabbing at your knees. Let's bring them in closer to our chest. And exhale, releasing those feet flat down on the mat in front of us, coming into our Shavasana or corpse pose. You can rest your hand to either side of your body and just lie flat here for a long, deep breath together. One more long, deep breath, breathing in, filling the body with oxygen. And exhale, releasing all sensations of heaviness. And then as inhale, let's slowly meet back in the seated position on our mats. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And I hope to see you here for another class again soon. Namaste.